Tool Tubers, Rob's Wrenches here. Today I'm going to give an initial review on the Viking battery charger and maintainer. I've unpacked it. I'm going to try to bring this Schumacher battery back to life. I got this jump pack from my employer. They discarded it and they're moving to the compact units, much like the Viking right there. So they got rid of this one, which looks like it had taken a tumble off of somebody's car, while they were jumping it off. And they set that one out to be discarded, as well as that Pro Series Schumacher. It's a PSJ 2212. They're getting rid of that one as well. And I retrieved it. And this one is missing. All it's missing is the spring for the clamp. That's the reason they were discarding it. I haven't been able to find the clamp for it as of yet. I've been searching online, and heck, they're selling the chargers, but not selling anything to repair them with or anything like that. So if I can find me some sort of clamp to restore that one without having to replace the entire cable, I'll be golden. I searched Granger. I didn't look at Fastenal or anything like that. But yeah, if I can find a reasonable replacement for that spring, I'll be good to go. This one is an IP 1875C. Oh, by the way, if you look on Tooltopia, that one back there is going for, I think $135 was the last time I'd seen that one being advertised. I looked it up earlier, and it's $194 at Summit, and you can get it for $142 on Amazon for that jump pack back there. This one I didn't price or anything like that. I did look it up, but not so much for the price. The case, the clamshell, had busted, and the mounting, the screws, came loose, and it was just rickety and raggedy. And on the back of it, where you plug in the extension cord, here, it's too loose, so you couldn't put an extension cord on it because the plugs just went inside of the case, so you couldn't really recharge the thing. So it makes for a perfect candidate for me to try out the battery charger and maintainer. Also, the first jump pack that I bought on my own was this 5-in-1 from Syntec, or Syntec from Harbor Freight. I have this flashlight, and I can't find the AC cord for it. It ran away from home or something. So what I use the DC cord with the Syntec, and that's how I charge this flashlight. So that's what I've been getting by with that one. Now, what I'm going to do, this battery had died. I got the thing last fall. It's been almost a year since I've had these two. And this one was charged, and just over time, the charges dissipated, and it went completely dead. So I checked the voltage last night, and I tried to put the maintainer charger on it, and it wouldn't even detect it, since it had no voltage or anything like that. It wouldn't do anything with it. I put the Syntec battery charger on it, and same thing, since it's a smart charger, and it was, the battery, the voltage was so low that it wouldn't even detect it. We wouldn't do anything with it, So I took the old Schumacher battery charger, 6 amp, 2 amp, 6 amp, and put an initial charge on it. Right now, as of this morning, it had 7 volts. Where's my multimeter? I got it up to 7 volts overnight. So I'm going to try it from there. Here we go. Okay, it's falling back down to 6 volts as of now. So it's losing voltage as we're speaking. All right, now, not wanting to just read word for word, what the package says or anything like that, but it has bad battery indication. It's got 6-foot cables, so you can extend it pretty far. The AC cord is almost 7 feet, and the DC cord is 6 feet long, so it gives you a pretty good reach. Microprocessor control adjusts current to match battery type and condition. It's got 4 different modes for reconditioning and charging the batteries. It's got 12-volt standard, 12-volt AGM, which this battery is, and the AGM is an absorbent glass mat, so it's kind of similar to the gel batteries, non-spillable or anything like that. So you're not worrying about leakage or anything like that. If you tilt it to the side or anything like that. It automatically switches to maintenance mode when the battery is completely charged, and reverse polarity protection prevents operation if the clamps are on the wrong terminals. I did try that out and whatnot, and it'll just show you a little battery clamp symbol that lets you know that the polarity is reversed. All right, I got that one plugged in and it's been charging. I brought it back from like 75% charge overnight up to 96%. So at this point, we'll just plug in the Viking and check it out. All right, got it plugged in. It's flashing 0 volts, and it shows a flashing battery clamp. I don't know how well you can see that. Hopefully you can see that a little better. Now, if the batteries, or if the clamps don't have a good connection, it will continue to flash that, 0 voltage and a battery clamp symbol. All right, going positive to negative and negative to positive on the battery just to see how it goes. I need to upgrade these freaking clamps. They're too weak, and the little plastic handles just slide right off of them. So I'm going to look to upgrade those. If I can find some better clamps and connect those to this, I'll be happy. Okay, so if you can see down in the bottom left hand corner, it's showing a little reverse polarity symbol showing that the clamps are, connected incorrectly. So if you see that, that'll let you know to switch out the clamps. Too easy. Okay, showing 6 volts. Now initially when you connect it, it'll flash green, the backlight will be green, and then as it starts to charge, it's in reconditioning mode right now, and the backlight is red. And it showed 6 volts, and now it's climbing. So it's going to continue to flash like this for an hour. I have it set in, well, it automatically detects whether it's a 6 or 12 volt battery. So this one is set for 12 volts AGM, and you can go through the modes. That is 6 volt or 12 volt standard battery, and the little snowflake is winter mode. So if it's, in winter months, you set it to that. 6 volts standard, 6 volts winter, 12 volt standard, and 12 volt AGM. So I'll leave it set to that since it's a 12 volt AGM battery, and let it do its work. So I'm going to let this go for an hour, and since it's under 10.5 volts, it says if the voltage is under 10.5, then it will try to recondition the volt or the battery, and it will attempt to do that for an hour, and then after that hour is up, it would either indicate that it's a bad battery, or that you know, it needs further charging. So I expect that it's going to, you know, flash the bad battery symbol, which would be right under the voltage there. If you look at the manual here, it'll show you that it's a bad battery. So it'll have a battery symbol with an X across it. I expect that, you know, in an hour's time, that I should expect to see that, since the voltage is, you know, well under 10.5 volts. Where's my doggone timer? All right, I bought it for $29.99 was the price of the maintainer, and my freebie was a magnetic parts dish. You know, the obligatory freebie. So I had gotten that one, chose that, and we'll leave it going for an hour, and we'll check back on it. Forgot to mention, I'm going to use the terminal rings to attach it to the battery. I've got a couple of nut and bolts that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use this, because if I can't fix this clamshell, or I can't replace it, I think I'm going to, you know, make an ugly fix to it and just get some long through bolts, long enough to reach through that cabinet, so I can, you know, fasten it together and keep it together. And I can use this 7.5 amp fused terminal connector to just leave it there. You know, I can just leave this permanently attached to that and keep that one charged that way. So that's what this one would be good for. Also, I don't have an ATV or a motorcycle or anything like that that I would need this, you know, permanently fastened to or anything. And any of my cars, I would just, you know, take a charger out to it, you know, with an extension cord or anything like that, you know. So this isn't anything that I would, anything else that I would permanently affix to, you know. So I could probably use it for that case and use that as a workaround. All right, I've connected the terminal rings to the charger, and we're going to leave that going for 1 hour, and we'll see how it goes. We'll check our status then. We have 6.1 volts right now. We'll check back in an hour. All right, tool tubers, it's been almost an hour, under 2 minutes left, and what I've been getting is a fluctuation in voltage that is reading on here. And when I put the fluke meter on it, it pretty much shows the same thing. It hasn't given me the bad battery indication yet, but it's still sitting at 6.7 volts. Now, in the manual reading, it says that it could take up to 72 hours to fully charge a battery. So I'm thinking that it might take that long, since it was completely dead, or upwards of that time anyway, you know. So I think I'm going to disconnect this and put the regular battery charger back on it and try to bring it up to speed, you know, with probably crank it up to 6 amps and try to bring it up to 10 volts faster, and then we'll continue on from there. But so far, my opinion is inconclusive at this point. We'll have to check back on it, you know, after I get that battery up a little higher. So, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, share, and subscribe, and we'll continue this video at a later point. All right. Deuces. Hey, back at you again. Correction. Now I'm getting the bad battery indication. No sooner than I signed off and the alarm went off, the timer went off, then it started giving me the bad battery indication. So it's continuing to charge per the manual, and then it'll retry. I think I'm still going to go on and disconnect this and put it on a regular battery charger, try to bring it up to 10.5 volts, and we'll try it again. All right, out again this time. Deuces from Rob's Wrenches.